I want to hear from Pastor Brian because I don't know anybody that develops better on multiple continents, but I'll say a couple of thoughts before he dives in. You don't develop accidentally, you only develop intentionally. So whatever it is, be intentional about it. You don't have to have a big staff to be a developer. You can have 3 of you in a room with one book and you read it together. And you're learning together, you're discussing, you're building common vocabulary, common experiences. Over time though, as it grows, you'll want to be more intentional simply because you've got more people involved, more moving parts. I'll tell you a breakthrough idea we had that I'm so excited about. For those who do multi-site, we were trying to develop speakers. Well, how can I throw this person up, a 23-year-old, to speak to 80,000 people? It seems a little, it's not going to be a win for anybody. And so we decided to do something that was really cool. We called it Developmental Weekend. We had our 3rd one. We just had 84 different speakers speak on a given weekend. Everybody got 2 services. And so imagine 84 different people spoke on a weekend, everybody got 2 services, and before they could ever speak, they had to do it 3 times for a group of people on the staff to get feedback. So that was a massive win, and it says to the church, we are a developmental church raising up a new generation of communicators, and that sends the message you want to send. We're a developing church, and so I'd love to hear from you, because when I look at developmental cultures around the country, I tip my hat to what you all do and feel like it's the best of the best.
Well, that's true, but not that we're so fantastic. I'm not saying that.
That's true, bud.
It is true that our guys do a great job of developing our people. The point is that for me, my role now is more, I mentioned already, global, and so more mentoring in many ways. So
but you created a culture where that happens, even without you, and that's
Absolutely.
The key.
So I think it's a culture of permission for a start to, basically release people to. But I mean, really to me, developing people, first of all, it's got to be modeled, it's got to be demonstrated. If people got something to follow, that's, to me, it may be old school, but people rise up to things when they can see it modeled. Our teams in all our different places, especially in Australia, Joel and Julia, they do a fantastic job of the actual mechanics of developing people. And we do all those things. We have leadership days and development days. But I've held a staff meeting Tuesday morning for 33 years. I started in my lounge room having breakfast and just talked about things to do with leadership and life. And it's been consistent for 33 years, just talking about things from as simple as if you can see hair, look in the mirror and see hair in your nose, other people can see it as well. Simple as that.
Write that down. That's really, because there's some people who need that.
Well, if you want me to be even more gross, I've also had to teach some of these young people, if you can see a mark in the bathroom, the next person can see it as well, so get rid of it. I mean, there's a lot of things.
That just crossed the line.
I've taken your structure and brought it all the way down here. But the point is, though, I think it's consistency, the same message, repeating, consistency, and then the areas where we need extra expertise, bring those people in and do staff days and do special days. And
do you still do your, I came and did it one time, your yearly staff retreat?
Yeah,
you had everybody from around the whole world was at one retreat center.
Yeah,
right?
Not all the staff from around the world, but all the leaders, all the pastors
leaders
from around the world come to our staff retreat, which happens just out of Sydney. This year we had getting up to 1,000 people at the staff retreat. And it's all that, though, again, with us, everything had become so big and so global, and everyone was traveling, and I felt like we were always a church that were very family, very relational, that were becoming professional colleagues because everyone was coming and going and so on. So that retreat was all about really coming back to just having a sense of family and being together. But we used that time as well to do all these things that we're talking about.
I think what you're hearing too is even there, you can use different methods, but you're going to have to be intentional about helping your staff grow in their personal relationship with God, in their family life, and in their professional life, and what God's called them to do.